Oh, Marcelo, you're on mute, mate. Carl, this is rookie mistake,
I
Marcelo.
thought I was in Ocean's 11. I thought I was watching Ocean's 11, bro. That was a robbery. That was the biggest heist job I've ever seen in my life. And you know what? I loved it. I'm not gonna go crazy for the result in itself. Personally, I think the performance could have been better in the first half. I thought the second half we improved. I'm not going to be like Arsenal fans and, celebrating draws here and there, but I will say this. I will say this, though. This is actually, if you look at the stats, our hardest game of the season.
Yeah.
It's the hardest game of the season. And getting a point at Stamford Bridge, I always say, getting a point at the Bridge or at Anfield is not a bad result. You can look at positives. And
not at all.
The positive that I saw today was, we never gave up. We had that nasty fight. You know what I mean? Romero, he was nasty, bro, pulling Cucurella's hair. You know what I mean? That's why that's what you gotta do though when you play Chelsea. Chelsea is a nasty team, bro. You saw they tackles, they win the second ball. You gotta be nasty when you play Chelsea, man. And I saw that in the second half. I saw that nastiness that I was looking forward to. I saw that fight back, bro. You know what I mean? So those are positives that you can really look onto the team. This is, I will say, a team with a different mentality. I think Spurs last season, after that first half performance, would have crumbled and given up in the second half. Yeah. Do you guys agree or not? I personally
I agree.
But do you think that's down to the options that he now has? Because obviously a lot of that team that started in the first half, it was last season's team pretty much. But as soon as the subs came on, the mentality changed on that pitch.
Absolutely. And you know what? Look, this is what I was saying about Richarlison. This is what I was saying about, having, people like Bissouma. Is regardless of whether they start or not, they're in the team and they can help us out. You know what I mean?
Agree.
And, last season, who would have put in? Lucas Moura and Harry Winks, bro. We're screwed. Game over. Game over. Blow the whistle. It's over. Yeah. You know what I mean? But now we were able to bring in Bissouma, Perisic, and Richarlison. And in my opinion, they helped change the game. They were, Richarlison was full of energy. I thought, Bissouma, even though he had very little of him, but I thought he was okay. I thought Perisic was very good. I thought he was very active on this left-hand side. So I thought, I saw a lot of positives today. Negative, defending, bro. We need another center back.
Fucking we do, Marcelo, man.
We need another center back,
Marcelo,
bro.
we can't have moon boots there the whole season.
I keep saying this thing about this Dyer fella. Like, look, he's improved, man. But if you want to start contending for titles, what was he doing in that second goal, man?
Oh,
you know what I mean? He got completely sucked in. I know people are looking at Ben Davies, and I'm not gonna blame too much Ben Davies because, in my opinion, if you look at that second goal again, you look Eric Dyer's being sucked into the right side. You look at Romero in the midfield. And Ben Davies is the only one in his spot, and it's a 2v1. You can't do anything about that.
Yeah.
So I'm not gonna blame Ben Davies for that.
It wasn't. That was definitely Dyer's fault there.
Dyer,
like you said,
what was he doing?
It was only one in the box, like central. But Dyer was literally standing next to Romero.
Yeah. You're a central center back, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What are you doing on the right-hand side? Stay in the center.
Do you know what the worst thing is, Marcelo? It was the fact that there was no leadership from him, even to say, look, Romero, or get over there, or even to bring himself into the centre more. He just didn't communicate at all and just left Davis by himself. And obviously
very exposed as well.
It was very exposed. It was inevitable it was going to happen.
I'll say this though, our heads didn't drop, and that's another thing about that's why I that's the big positive I take from today. I think it was our mentality and the fact that we got a point at our hardest game of the season. And you know what? If you really think about it, a lot of the games are going to be tougher than this one. There's not a lot of other games other than Anfield and the Etihad. There's not a lot more games that's going to be tougher than this one, and also Arsenal away.
No, I completely agree, Marcelo. I think with the fact that we played so badly, and the last kind of 3 or 4 games we played Chelsea, we haven't even scored a goal, and we played this kind of poorly, and we've scored 2 goals. We've had 4. I think the stats were 5 or 6 shots we had the whole game, and we scored 2 goals, and that we've had a bit of more shithousery from some of the players. Marlon was saying, Marlon still had the faith that we were going to get the goal right at the end, and we did. And we had a bit of luck as well, but we need it if we're going to get something from these kind of places.
And I'll say this, look, I know people are hyping up Chelsea's performance, but I'll say this, other than the 2 goals, and that Harvard miss, they weren't creating many chances. I thought we were really nice and compact. I thought for the most part the defending was good. It was just, I think, in the second balls. You know what I mean? Every time there was a free ball, Chelsea was always on it. We gotta get better on that, bro. Every loose ball, they were on it. You know what I mean? We gotta win that second ball, man. You know what I mean? We gotta be nasty.
Yeah, we just didn't recycle the ball very well.
Exactly.
And that was the biggest problem today. But to finish with a 2-2 draw after that performance, you just got to hold your hands up and go, it is what it is.
And you know what? Chelsea fans, they're going to be sour grapes, bro, because they thought this was going to be another Tottenham, performance, another day.
Technically it was.
3 points. Technically it was, but it was daylight robbery, bro. I always said it. That felt like the bridge, but it was reversed. It felt like they lost 2 points and we gained a point, in my opinion.
Yeah,
I agree.
No, that was
Marcelo, what's your thoughts on your main man and your boy Sonny today? What was your feelings on Sonny?
He was poor, man. He was poor. And I agree with the Richarlison substitution. And you know what? Look, I love Son, but he's got to perform. He's got to perform. And if he's not performing and Richarlison is, then you gotta put your hands up and say, look, Richarlison, maybe, if he continues this form, he takes that spot. You know what I mean? That's why we need depth. That's why we need these players. And Richarlison, listen, I know him from Brazil. He's definitely one of those guys that he's looking at Sonny's spot. You know what I mean? He's crazy, man. He loves playing football. I love that guy.
And you could see when he came on, he had the energy, he was running about, he was getting in their faces more.
And that's what we needed.
I think what we lacked in the first half, we got towards the end when they started coming on, was the pressing from the front, because Chelsea were doing that really well against us in the first half, and we couldn't get out of our own half, and that's why we struggled to recycle the ball forward. And then as soon as they came on, you could see that we were pressing them and we were closing them down. We were putting more pressure on Chelsea, and you could see it because we end up scoring the goals when they started coming on.
Well, I also thought, I was kind of thinking maybe Richarlison should have started before the game. You know what I mean? That's what I wanted, because personally, look, I love Sonny, but sometimes he's a little bit too nice. In a game against Chelsea, like I said, you got to be nasty. And Richarlison, he's got that nasty spirit. You know what I mean?
There's a few people in the comments saying the similar thing today, Marcelo. They were saying that Sonny was a bit too nice and that he needs to be a bit more aggressive, because you could see it today. Like, especially from defending that corner. He should have been right up against Koulibaly. Yeah, he was the closest person to him, and if that was Richarlison, he'd be all over him.
Yeah, it would have been in his face.
All over him. He wouldn't have let him have that space.
Yeah.
But, and that's the difference. I think, like not to say Son's not an amazing player, because he's one of our best players, and we love Son. But it's just the fact that today, in certain games like that, you need him to be more aggressive. And there has been occasions against Chelsea, especially, where Son hasn't turned up. He has done a few times, but majority of the time, he's quite quiet. But the good thing is, now it looks like we've got the options. So what I would have liked to have seen is maybe had the options come on a little bit earlier, because I think we could have maybe even pushed on even more if they'd come on and had a bit more time to impact the game.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, what's your feeling on kind of in terms of the transfer window? Like, do you think we need? I know you mentioned about centre back. Do you think we need? Is that all we need? We need other players, or?
Look, in terms of the transfer window, I know you've been kind of criticizing it, Danny. I personally think it's been a great transfer window. I know we need that center back. I know we still need more players. But if you look at it realistically, you can't always get, everybody. You can't always get the players. And we did try to get the center backs we wanted. We just couldn't. And I'd rather us not spend the money on like someone like Joe Rodon and hold to our guns and wait for our target than just go and buying a center back. So, you know what? Look, I still think we're going to have a great season. And I think, a lot of people say, oh, look, we're still playing the same team and stuff like that. Listen, it takes time for the team to gel. It takes time for these new players to come in and gel with the team. Conte is, you can see, slowly putting them into the pitch, and he's slowly getting them into the team. Halfway through the season, I guarantee you some of those players are going to start starting.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think the two that everyone wants to see, and I've been saying this religiously everywhere, is that Perisic and Basuma
start
instantly
start them now. I want to start Perisic now.
100%. I think both. Okay, let me ask you this, Marcelo. Then, if Basuma's going to start, because I think in the long term he's going to be a mainstay in our team.
Yeah.
Who do you think is going to come out? Is it going to be Bentancur or is it going to be Højbjerg? Or is it going to be a rotation basis?
You see, I think that's more of a rotation because, I know people like to pick on Højbjerg. I like Højbjerg. He came clutch for us today. I usually like Højbjerg. I thought he had a poor performance first half today, but I think, our Bentancur, Højbjerg, Skip when he come back.
Yeah.
Those are all solid midfielders. I'm okay with that being Basuma being that rotation. But I think in terms of left wing back, I think it has to be Perisic.
Yeah,
he just showed experience, bro. Experience and skills. You know what I mean? Like, the guy has just good football, man. He just understands good football.
Yeah, he's got an intelligent mind. That's the thing. He's got intelligent football brain. He knows. I mean, it was him that was the one that was like causing the problems when he came on.
Yeah.
I know he wasn't getting crosses into the box because James was cutting out his crosses, but from the corners, his first corner was like we were saying, like, it's a Tottenham curse. He didn't beat his first man, but after that, his corners are really good. They're very dangerous, and it's good to see we've got someone who can take a corner.
The issue was, and also my opinion was, in Sessignon in the first half, he wasn't giving James nothing to think about. So James, all he was doing is man marking Son. You know what I mean? James kind of had a free first half, in my opinion. And, you need someone to kind of, challenge that side. Even though he's not getting the crosses in, you got to challenge that side, man. You got to get the defender, to give up space, to go down there and have to defend and stop the crosses. That's how you open up.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to the season now to see exactly what we can do with the players, and as long as our players can stay fit, I think it's going to be a very exciting season for us.
I'm excited. I'm excited. Come on, you Spurs.
Marcelo, man, I just want to say thank you for coming on, brother. It's nice to see you again. I haven't spoken to you for
guys.
a while.
Yeah.
And by the way,
come back season.
Is that a new mic? Is that a new mic I see? I haven't seen that before.
Yeah. I got a blue. I got a new whole.
You sound a lot more silky now, man. The silky Samba brother, man.
Yeah, Tottenham is upgrading, so I was like, I gotta spend my own money. I
love it, man. I love it. Big up, Marcelo, man. Thank you for coming. Come on, you Spurs.